It's just past 5 in the morning. The sea is unnaturally calm, like it's holding its breath. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group moves steadily across open water. The carrier dominates everything around it. Over 1,000 feet of steel and aircraft, its flight deck stretching across the surface like a floating city. Escorting destroyers hold precise positions along the outer perimeter. A guided missile cruiser trails slightly behind. And high above, an E-2 Hawkeye early warning aircraft circles in a slow, disciplined orbit, its radar sweeping hundreds of miles of open ocean in every direction. Everything looks routine. Then, a sonar technician pauses. He hears something, a faint metallic rhythm, soft, slow, mechanical. At first, it blends into the endless background noise of the ocean, distant currents, shifting thermoclines, the low hum of the carrier's own propellers. But this technician has spent years listening. Something feels off. He adjusts his headset, narrows the frequency filter, and the pattern becomes clear. Propeller cavitation, the unmistakable acoustic signature of a submarine. He leans forward, studying the waveform on his monitor. Then his expression changes. A second signal appears. Different blade spacing, different acoustic profile, 2 submarines. The room goes quiet. He runs another scan. A third signature emerges from the darkness below the ocean's surface. 3 contacts, 3 submarines, already inside the outer defensive perimeter of the most powerful naval formation on Earth. And if you want more breakdowns like this, real military operations, real hardware, real stakes, subscribe right now. We do this every week. Here's what makes this moment so alarming. A U.S. carrier strike group carries roughly 7,500 personnel. At minimum, 1 carrier, a guided missile cruiser, 2 to 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, and typically at least 1 attack submarine screening from below. It is, as defense analysts put it, a floating fortress capable of projecting more air power than the entire military of most nations. For 3 hostile submarines to slip inside that perimeter undetected, that is not supposed to happen. But Iran's submarine force is specifically designed to do exactly that. Iran operates 3 Russian-built Kilo-class submarines, nicknamed Black Holes by NATO for their near-silent acoustic signature. Beyond those, Iran has built the Ghadir-class midget submarine, a compact 29-meter coastal boat coated in sound-absorbing tiles, designed specifically for the shallow, congested waters of the Persian Gulf. Military analysts have warned that Ghadir-class submarines can effectively rest near the seabed between attacks, making them extraordinarily difficult to detect. Even with advanced sonar, they are a genuine threat. Back in the carrier's sonar room, the technician confirms what no one wanted to hear. 3 contacts, Iranian diesel-electric submarines, already inside the perimeter. On the tactical display inside the carrier's Combat Information Center, 3 red icons suddenly appear beneath the blue formation. The commander studies the screen and immediately understands the geometry. The submarines are spreading, one toward port, one toward starboard, one trailing directly behind the formation. This isn't random movement, it's a triangle, a classic submarine ambush designed to trap a large target from multiple angles simultaneously. The sonar supervisor picks up the communication line. Bridge, sonar, 3 hostile submarines maneuvering inside perimeter. How close? Within firing range. Those words hang in the air for just a moment. Then the order comes. General quarters. The alarm erupts across the carrier. Electronic tones echo through steel corridors and aircraft hangars. Hatches slam shut. Weapon systems power on. Helicopters spin up on destroyer flight decks and lift off almost immediately, racing toward the suspected submarine locations. But beneath the surface, the Iranian submarines have already reached their attack positions. The torpedo officer watches the targeting computer complete its final firing solution. Range optimal. Bearing locked. Target acquired. The captain nods. Prepare tubes. Cold seawater floods the launch chambers. Above them, the aircraft carrier continues forward, completely unaware that 3 torpedo tubes are aimed at its hull. Then a violent burst of propulsion tears through the sonar technician's headphones. Torpedo launch. Another signal erupts. And another. 3 explosive signatures simultaneously. 3 torpedoes accelerating through the water, all racing toward the carrier. Impact time, less than 2 minutes. Hit that like button right now if this is gripping you. It genuinely helps the channel. The officer of the deck reacts instantly. Hard rudder, full power. Deep beneath the carrier, the propulsion shafts surge to life, churning the ocean into white foam behind the ship. Escort destroyers shift from patrol posture to full combat response. Cylindrical acoustic decoy devices eject from launch tubes and splash into the water. Moments later, they activate, flooding the ocean with artificial propeller signatures, false cavitation patterns, electronic echoes designed to imitate a massive ship. To a torpedo's guidance system, these decoys look exactly like new targets. But the incoming weapons keep coming, because here's the problem. A carrier this size produces an acoustic signature so overwhelmingly powerful that even in a sea full of decoys, it still sounds like a thunderstorm underwater. The next line of defense goes up. Helicopters race low across the waves, deploying sonar buoys in rapid sequence, forming a listening network across the sea. The first anti-torpedo interceptor fires from a destroyer, not a weapon designed to hit ships, but one that hunts other torpedoes. The two signals converge on the sonar display. A violent underwater explosion erupts. The first incoming torpedo disappears, destroyed. Depth charges fall from the helicopters. The sea detonates. Shock waves ripple through the water. Inside the Iranian submarines, hulls shudder violently, lights flicker. The second torpedo drifts. The acoustic decoys are finally working, and it veers away from the carrier, locking onto a decoy instead. Another explosion. The second torpedo is gone, but the third one is different. It has ignored every decoy, every interference signal, and it is still coming. Distance 300 meters, 200, 150. The carrier's acoustic jammer comes online, flooding the surrounding ocean with intense electronic interference. For the first time since launch, the torpedo's guidance system hesitates. The signal flickers. Then a second interceptor fires from the nearest destroyer. Two weapons race toward each other beneath the surface. 80 meters from the carrier, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. A violent underwater explosion tears through the ocean. The sea erupts in a towering column of foam and spray. The carrier's hull shudders from the distant blast. Every sonar screen fills with static. Then the interference clears. The torpedo track is gone. The carrier survives. But the fight isn't over, because the sonar screen still shows 3 contacts. The entire dynamic flips instantly. The defense phase is over. The hunt begins. Every torpedo launch leaves a trace. Pressure waves, acoustic disturbances that trained operators can follow like a trail. The submarines gave themselves away the moment they fired. Anti-submarine helicopters close in, dipping sonar cables into the water. The first submarine is found, locked, and destroyed by a lightweight torpedo within seconds. A second submarine attempts to flee south. A guided missile destroyer cuts off the escape route and fires. It locks on through every decoy attempt. The second submarine is gone. The final Iranian submarine dives hard toward the seabed, cuts all engines, and goes completely silent, hoping the ocean floor will hide it. It nearly works. For several tense minutes, the water grows quiet. Then one helicopter crew detects a barely perceptible acoustic trace, metal shifting. Another sonar buoy drops. The signal becomes unmistakable. A torpedo falls into the sea. It sweeps the seabed with active sonar. The hidden submarine appears clearly in its sensors. There is no escape. The third and final explosion rolls across the ocean floor. On every sonar screen across the strike group, the last red icon disappears. 3 submarines, all gone. The entire engagement, from first torpedo launch to final destruction, lasted less than 10 minutes. The carrier sustained 0 damage. It never even slowed down. That outcome wasn't luck, it was layers. Sonar operators who detected the threat early, destroyers that deployed countermeasures, helicopters that hunted beneath the surface, interceptors that destroyed incoming weapons mid-run. Layer by layer, the strike group's defenses worked exactly as designed, without hesitation, without delay. Drop a comment below. Which moment in this engagement do you think was the most critical? I genuinely love to hear what you think. 3 submarines entered the water. None of them came back up. If this gave you a new appreciation for modern naval warfare, make sure you're subscribed. We break this stuff down every single week. See you in the next